So here we have an inspiration of a fragrance by Diptyque. This is a tuberose fragrance. It's called Dossier. And here we have Dossier's iteration of it. This one is called Ambery Tuberose. I'm going to be telling you all about this fragrance in addition to letting you in on their Black Friday special. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on this fragrance, I recently acquired it. I've been spending some time with it. I'm going to tell you about the notes, the performance, longevity, and how close I think it is to the original. But before I begin, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me. So I think the driving force behind the reason why so many people trust Dossier and use Dossier instead of purchasing some of the big name brands that sometimes sell into the hundreds, $300, $400, $500 for a single bottle of eau de parfum, is the fact that Dossier has inexpensive fragrances. They use gas chromatography and mass spectrometry to reverse engineer these fragrances. They're very transparent with everything, the concentration, which in this case is 15%, the note breakdown, the inspiration, all of that stuff, but they're actually running a Black Friday special at the moment. So on top of the already discounted prices, which I was so shocked. I went on there and I saw an inspiration of a fragrance I was selling for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. The Dossier version was only 29 bucks. So of course, if you're on a budget, now is the best time of the year to stock up, especially if you want to shop ahead for holiday gifts or stuff like that. They're running an amazing promotion. And I'm going to leave the link to the website down below. So subscribe to their newsletter, do what you have to do. This way you can stay informed of any updates on new releases and fragrances and prices that you may be interested in, so on and so forth. So kind of as I said before, this is a tuberose based fragrance. In the top you have orange blossom and rose, so it starts off quite floral. In the heart you have tuberose and daffodil, which is quite interesting. You don't see that as a floral ingredient in too many perfumes. And then in the base you have benzoin, musk, and orris, but it's called Ambery Tuberose because benzoin is used in the synthesis of an amber accord. Nevertheless, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the smell. Let's start things off with a quick look at the presentation first. Now, right in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get this lush floral bouquet. And it is hypnotizing, it's irresistible, it is jaw-droppingly good. The florals are so natural, so high quality. The tuberose is just so animated and so full of life, and I really appreciate that about this perfume. The tuberose opens up quite brilliantly, and the daffodil gives it this nice, gentle touch, and you do often get reminded of walking through like a really lush garden with all of this foliage surrounding you. And of course, the rose, in addition to some of the other floral ingredients, including the orange blossom, really add a touch of brilliance to this fragrance. Now, of course, the sustenance is brought through the use of benzoin, which is a balsamic ingredient, it's a resinous ingredient, and of course it contributes to the synthesis of an amber accord. There's Ambery Tuberose in the name. There's no amber in the note breakdown, of course, but it does have orris, which is another floral ingredient. In some renditions or some uses of this ingredient, it does come across a little bit powdery. Sometimes people say it smells like lipstick or a cosmetic bag. That's not happening in the case of this fragrance because the tuberose really does dominate. It's a really bright, brilliant, and lush ingredient that you're going to get in here. And personally speaking, I think it smells fantastic. I really love the way that this fragrance smells, and I think it's a very easygoing, very classy, very professional fragrance. Of course, the criticism would be that it leans feminine, and of course, if you've already made that association of floral fragrances being feminine fragrances, I think you're going to be in that same boat of people who support that narrative. But personally, I think if you just like the way that it smells, wear it. I think it smells exceptional. Definitely a beautiful fragrance to purchase for that wonderful woman in your life this season. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, you certainly don't have a unique fragrance here because it is an inspiration of a more popular niche fragrance by Diptyque called Dossier. And by the way, it's like 95% similar. I can't really put a percentage on it because I don't have the sophisticated equipment and machinery to do a thorough lab analysis, but based off of my olfactive memory and my nose, yes, it smells very, very similar. 15% concentration, which brings us to longevity. You're going to get about 8 hours on skin. Projection was really good for the first hour of application. It radiated at an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 6, a skin scent right around hour 8. In terms of the versatility, some people would argue it's feminine leaning. I think this one is more of a dressed up fragrance, if I'm being honest with you. I can see this one being worn in every season except for the winter. I think the floral ingredients make this the ideal spring fragrance, and I say that because when I think of spring, I think of flowers in bloom. So I think it would work well in every season except for the spring, and I can see this one appealing to somebody who is perhaps a little older and a little more sophisticated. In terms of the presentation, I do think it's minimalist, but I do like the distribution and the magnetic cap. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you're looking for the most affordable iteration of Dossier by Diptyque, check out Ambery Tuberose by Dossier, an incredible inspiration. Check out their Black Friday promotion. All of the links are going to be down below. They're not affiliate links. I am not making any commission from you making purchases from the brand. I'm just trying to simplify the process for my subscribers. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys took something of value from today's episode. If you did, please support the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching. I love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.